Muite and others were involved in basically uh, making sure that it's okay here, that the Law Society of Kenya uh, also played a critical role in the decolonization of the colonial judiciary, as well as making that bar transformative. Uh, Now, the other thing they have mentioned about the second deliberation, which Muite played a great role, but what they haven't told you is that the National Democratic Development Party of Jaramogi Odinga owed its existence to Muite's brilliant constitutional argument around Section 2A. And Section 2A of the Constitution was that article that said Kenya shall be a one-party state. And it's a one that was also reflected in KANU saying that they will rule for 100 years. They have actually ruled for 60, so their prophecy might come true. So Jaramogi Odinga, who was very pivotal in the second deliberation, used that argument to seek registration, of his party. But Muite was elected president of the Law Society in January 1990. And in his inaugural speech, he called for the registration of Jaramogi's party. And it's always a convention that when the Law Society has a dinner, judges are invited. And in this particular case, when Mr. Muite said that Jaramogi's party should be registered, the judges who are in the party actually walked out, knocking down cutlery and tables. It's only one judge, an Irish judge called Shield, who stayed. And of course, you can imagine if Jaramogi was going to go to court and ask for the registration of his party, what would have happened? So LSK became part of the second deliberation, as you've been told. We got into a lot of trouble. 6 of our members filed a petition, basically ganging us. They said that we should not do politics in LSK. And we disobeyed, and we were convicted for contempt of court. And we refused to pay. And the judge, I remember at that point, said, we won't make you famous. If you don't pay, we'll auction your property. So the Law Society paid. I'm getting into this story because I was the vice president when Muite was president of the Law Society. You've been told that he quit, we got into politics. He was Jaramogi's deputy president in the party. And when Muite, quit politics, he continued with his legal practice. And his legal practice, just like another lawyer called John Camino, was defending the enemies of the state, actually a euphemism for people who struggled against the dictatorship. But what is also important is that he has been in the forefront of taking briefs that defend, uphold, and protect the rights of LGBTIQA+. He's been doing these particular cases, and he's come up with brilliant constitutional and theological arguments in these cases. And as all of us know, there is obviously a great homophobia in this country, among the conservative politicians, pastors, priests, and imams. It's not a secret, and it takes courage to appear for the marginalized and abused gay community in Kenya and challenging the conservative alliance of religious and political leaders who believe they speak in the name of God. And that struggle must continue. Heterosexuals must join in this struggle. We cannot let religion prioritize sins when the homophobes basically play God. Okay, when you look at the theological arguments among the theologians, they do what we don't do as lawyers. We don't take one article and make it subvert other articles. So if you are a theologian, and there might be some right here, you cannot just rely on Genesis and forget Hebrews. Okay, you have to read that. The Genesis is about the covenant between God and Moses. Hebrews will tell you that the covenant between Jesus and God. And I challenge any theologian who is here to tell me where Jesus talks about or condemns homosexuality. The only thing he talked about was the case of a woman who was caught in the act alone. The word alone means that the man had taken off. And he basically said, like Pope Francis, who am I to judge? Okay, whoever hasn't committed sin, they should be the first to cast the first stone. So Mwite is relying on the theology of Desmond Tutu, okay, who says that his God is not homophobic. And if he goes to heaven and he finds that that is not the case, he will tell God that he should go to the other place, that is hell. So, lastly, I wanted to say on this particular issue, all right, that the vision of the Kenyan Constitution, when you read that Constitution properly, is a vision of creating a democratic, secular state and society. And if you look at the articles, all of them from the preamble, Article 8, Articles 27 and 32, you will find that all faiths, including the traditional ones, all religions or beliefs are protected. And that's the only constitution I know in the world that actually, does this. And so that article in itself basically allows, that vision. And nobody that I know understand this better than, Paul Mwite. And that's the addition I wanted to give. Of course, I hope you have complied with my order and you read to those pages very quickly. So that's the citation.
So please, we welcome Senior Counsel Paul Mwite, and I need to announce that The judgment of the lower court has been overturned, and there is a new ruling and order that it is Justice William Ouko who will hand over the award. Please come on stage. Congratulations. Congratulations. The senior counsel said he's not leaving this stage without a check of $1,000. And having said that, please allow me to give senior counsel Paul Muite 1 minute to tell us one word or two about his feeling about this.
The Honorable William Ouko, Judge of the Supreme Court, Dr. Willie Mutunga, Chief Justice Emeritus, the Ambassador of Denmark to Kenya, all the other ambassadors, the human rights defenders and associations present, all protocols observed. At a personal level, I'm very happy today to be in the Danish embassy because for many decades, my favorite cheese is the Danish blue. And I hope when we retire in the other place, there might be some of it there. I'm also very happy that the judges and the human rights defenders have found it fit to remember things I did when I was perhaps your age and therefore reckless and said whatever was in my mind. It will encourage others. Chief Justice Willie Mutunga, back in '76, the late Tim Njogi, as you may or may not know, came from Garariga, same village with Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And that was during the First Republic of good old Jomo. And Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o had been picked, I don't know whether it is after writing Gahi Kandeda or which book he had written. And Tim Njogi, his village mate, knew he was headed to detention, so he came to me. I don't know why he thought I would be more persuasive to the then Attorney General, Charles George. So Tim Njogi and I went to Sharia House, and I straight away engaged the Attorney General. And I said, Attorney General, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o is harmless. All he has is a pen and paper. Mr. Giorgio looks at me. Do you realize that man with his pen and paper is more dangerous than a whole battalion with the guns? Many years later, when I reflected on that statement, I concluded maybe Mr. Giorgio was right. If you can influence the mind of the people, you certainly are more effective, not dangerous, but more effective than a whole battalion with guns. Because we don't have a lot of time, there is one thought I would like to share with you, human rights defenders and associations. First, the civil society is very good in collecting data. Any statement they make on the basis of factual matters. Data, collection of facts, statistics. Continue with that. But having been in activism and having been in politics, the thought I want to share with you is this, that you consider identifying a civil society or an NGO, 1 or 2 or 3. Because the weak link in transforming our country, Kenya, so that we stop being poor, so that we stop those we elect from looting the resources and borrowing and looting. The only way to do that is to mobilize the public. The Kenyan public looks for a messiah. It doesn't work and it's not going to work. From 63, we have elected people who get into power to further impoverish a majority of the people by and large. But the transformation will come if 2 or 3 civil society organizations can do proposals. And I say this from my experience. The Nordic countries, including our host here, make and give grants without strings attached. And that is a very good thing. If you can persuade them to give you grants right proposals for educating the Kenyan people, what are you going to educate them about? What are you going to mobilize them about? That it is not a messiah who will save the country, who will transform the country. It is the people themselves assuming responsibility for their own destiny, assuming responsibility to hold their leaders accountable. Each generation has opportunities and challenges. Dr. William Mutunga here and I are now handing over the baton to you, the current generation. We had our time and we achieved. We gave this nation a good, progressive, new constitution, a 2010 constitution. We empower the Kenyan people. They are no longer terrified of even mentioning the name of the president. I met somebody the other day and he told me, I want to thank you. You know, one day during those days, I went with friends and I took one beer too many and I mentioned the name of Moi and I became immediately sober. They used to flood those places. These days, people are empowered, they are no longer terrified. And they shouldn't be, because we elect our leaders. So what I have in mind is if 2 or 3 civil society, because of course to be efficient, you've got to choose your niche and focus on it. But if you are to pick 5 counties out of our 47 counties, begin with 5 counties and go down there. In each ward, there are educated accountants, educated lawyers. Tap into them to educate the people that the way to hold our leaders accountable is to look at the budget of last year. This particular county of Bungoma, for example, I'm just picking it as an example. The county of Bungoma was given by the national government so many billions last year. This year, you, our ward representative here, the county government, the governor, we don't want you to spend even a shilling before you come to each of the wards and tell us how much money you are going to spend in our ward for a hospital, for a dispensary, for a road, for whatever. And don't just come and tell us you have decided. Come and ask us, we residents of this ward. We are the ones to tell you what our needs are. Educate the people that way. If you are to begin huko mashinani in the grassroots, only 5 counties, and therefore hold your MCA accountable, hold the county government accountable, the governor accountable. In 5 counties in Kenya, I am convinced that that fire will light the whole of Kenya, and from the grassroots, you can go now to even the national government. Please give that idea your thoughts. If I was your age, that is where I would focus on, because that is the opportunity which is there. And you have the social media now. We didn't have social media other than Nairobi Law Monthly. So you can communicate to the people. Take this country further. Human rights is a very embracing word. And you cannot have human rights when you don't have your dignity. And you cannot have dignity when you are abjectly poor. Poverty. When you don't have enough food to eat, you don't have adequate housing, you cannot access affordable health care, your dignity is being violated. So you can only have that dignity if you attend to the social economic issues. And that to me is the agenda for which to take Kenya. I thank you very much, and thank you so much.
Congratulations. Very well delivered. You know, when you tell the Lifetime Achievement Award winner 2 minutes, you get 2 hours. Anyway, please, at this point, I'm assured your check will be available for the great work, but I'll let you back to celebrate with the team. But I'll request the ambassador, EU ambassador, to remain behind because she'll be the one who will be giving the award to the next. Now, the next award is the Global Solidarity Award. Unfortunately, I know time is running out. I would like to invite on stage, the ambassador is already here, but please, I'd like to invite a member of the judging panel, Ikal, please to quickly give us about the Solidarity Award. Tell us who person of the winner of the award, please.
Good evening. Yeah, this year's award has had 2 nominees from Turkana. The Greater North is doing well. The Global Solidarity Award goes to Black Lives Matter, and this is the reason why. At a time when we are dealing with the climate justice, we're talking about racial justice. The continent, the global south, continues to suffer the extraction of resources from our continent and from our region. So we are recognizing the efforts of Black Lives Matter because even in their struggle, they look at gender justice, the rights of the LGBTQ, and constantly fighting against discrimination. And at a time when we are saying Palestine must be free, Black Lives Matter has stood along with the people of Palestine, along with the people of Sudan, as we fight for the discrimination and the violence along with it. So the Global Solidarity Award goes to Black Lives Matter with their work in building local power to intervene in violence inflicted on the Black communities by the state and vigilantes, by combating and countering acts of violence, creating space for Black imagination, and seeing that Paul Muite has asked us to reimagine. This is a really good opportunity for us to reimagine what liberating people looks like. So this award goes to the Black Lives Matter.
Please, can we have the representative of the Black Lives Matters on stage? And let's get the award. The award is going to be given here by the ambassador who is right here. The ambassador. And also get the certificate. Ours. This is the only award that doesn't come with a cash prize. but it comes with a lot of solidarity and appreciation for the support.
Loki, all of them done in
Congratulations.
I'm not joking. Oh my guys, them knows me.
Yeah, what?
Since oh,
Yes,
since I've been writing this story.
go and enjoy
And to
the award,
but
please.
you ask
Thank you so much.
them know me.
Now, I'm really rushing this because of the time. And at this point,
Chose me, just know this.
I recognize that time is not on our side. So please allow me to invite the next person who will take us to this. Mutheu, please come on stage from the embassy.
Shall we turn to page 43? It's our turn. It's our turn. So you know these awards have been decided by a great selection panel of 8 people. And then you know what? It's finally our turn to be the jury. We get to decide from the 11 nominees who we want to award the popular award. It's up to us, people. It's in our hands. So if you turn to page 43, you scan the QR code, you'll be led directly to a page where you will have the option of selecting who you would like to win the popular award from the 11 people. I'm going to start my timer. We have to do this quick. We have 5 minutes. Timer is on. Let me know if there's any issues with the server, if it's crashing. Let me know so we can make sure it's working. So the selection we are making is from the nominees for the HRD of the Year award and the upcoming HRD. And there's access to Wi-Fi, right? Is it still on the screens? The access to Wi-Fi? There is access to Wi-Fi. Not sure if it's on the screens, but there was Wi-Fi. Is it going out there, jury? How's it going? Is it going fine? Does the link work? Yes? Okay. Who's behind the tube? Are the votes coming in? Not yet. Jury. Wait, let's do this. Not yet. Okay, let's cut the music a bit. Let's check on our voting process. Has anyone been able to vote? Just show me with your hands. Okay, so it's the back end here. Because the jury, we are at work. We are busy. We are making this happen. So, DJ, we can keep the music going as we're halfway done. So we've got a few more people to put in votes. Yes? Yes. Is there anyone who hasn't voted? Still thinking about it? Show of hands. Do you need a bit more time? 1 minute? It looks like everyone has voted. Okay, so has everyone voted? No, okay. No, it's okay. We still have time. We still have time. Don't worry if you haven't. You have a minute and a half. Let me just say our time is running out. We have 5 seconds. I know we are ready to keep this moving, but if there's someone who just needs to click, let me know and I will give you 5 seconds. No? No. No. Okay. So it looks like we're good. We're ready. And now there is a blank check that is just waiting for the name of the winner. And it is now my pleasure to invite my ambassador. I work at the Swedish Embassy here in Nairobi, and I invite my ambassador, Caroline Vicini, to join me up on stage to give the award. So I will invite Esban from the Defenders Coalition. Can you see this? Yo, Esban, come on. Oh, this is amazing. Please take. All right. Caroline, back to connect. And just a moment. Are we ready for this? This is the decision that we collectively have made as the jury, the deciders of the popular award. This is the decision that we have made.
Okay. So the winner is Dennis Orengo.
Shall we give Dennis a literal minute? Dennis, we are standing between everyone and drinks and food. And dance. So
Viva comrades, viva. So a slave who does not rebel does not deserve pity. Long live comrades, long live social justice traveling theater, long live. And may you be blessed. Let's continue speaking truth to power. But most importantly, let's take advantage of our time. And thank you for heroes who came before us. and watetezi ambao wameenda mbele yetu. Let's keep on changing our world one day at a time. Viva comrades, viva! Viva comrades, viva! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Over. Oh, glorious Gloria and Kamau, who are now standing between us and drinks.
And I
food.
assure us I
Thank
will
you.
stand there for only 2 minutes. It needs to be documented. All the award winners, please run on stage. Running is the word, run on stage. And then I kindly request all the ambassadors present, all our extinguished guests present to please come. We do the final photo. Kindly. Cameramen, you're good? All award winners this evening, please come on stage. Award winners, please run. I can't see the HRD award of the year. Lee, Nikolak, you're missing on stage. The representative. Winners, 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 winners. You're already at the bar. Please, please join us on stage. Jerry.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never give it up. Every time I step up in the building, everybody hands up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All I do is win. And they stay there, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never give it up. Every time I step up in the building, everybody hands up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Thank you, everybody. That was a cool 2 minutes. I can see people are heading to the bar. But I would really like to say a big thank you. Thank you for coming. We do it again in 2024. Field Marshal Band, take it away. Sorry,
What's in your mind?
Shujaa defense wing. Shujaa defend the wall. Shujaa defend the place. But now, on your man now. Shujaa Nanjeri way. Jerry right through. Shujaa Nanjeri way. Jerry right through. But your man. On your man now. On your man now. On your man. Shujaa wa Kenya way. Shujaa Atwafari way. Hurry way. Oh, I Nishuja social justice movement. What? Nairobi way. Madare way. What your man now? Shuja Tango away.
What's the fun? What's your man? Isuja Mombasa world. Isuja Pafuletus. Isuja Liton Race. Isuja Liliot. What your man? What Isuja world. Isuja Garissa world. Isuja Comrade. Isuja is your love. Isuja Suja Hake Pointed. No, not Yes, Anya. Asante. As
Bombas in the house. Yes. Inside the house. Only Jet Chuck in the house. Jet in the house. Bombas in the house. Hey. Ah, yeah. Da, 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 da. Burn it to the house. Oh, 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 oh. Sankara. Ekati Lili. Okay. Samor.
dedicated to all human rights defenders wherever you are. It's dedicated to human rights defenders in Mombasa. So it's dedicated to all human rights defenders in Malindi. It's dedicated to all human rights defenders in this is dedicated to all human rights defenders in Nairobi, Matokeo. This one is dedicated to all human rights defenders in Manyata, Kisumu, Kumbete. This one is dedicated to all those human rights defenders in Laikipia. This one is dedicated to all human rights defenders in Eldoret, Kericho. This one is dedicated to all human rights defenders in Turkana, Samburu, Siodo. This one is dedicated to all human rights defenders wherever you are. Remain strong. Keep us going. The faith, the mission going.